afternoon. How are you today? I hope you are fine. I'm feeling pretty fine. Gotten a lot of those little jobs done. They just keep trivial pursuit. And so I've gotten a lot of that done, and that makes me feel so good. I love it when at the end of the day I can say I did a good job today. So, how are you? And did you get anything done that you wanted to today? I hope so. And I hope one of the things you wanted to do was spend some time with me. Today we have our Living in the Light, and it's all about staying on the light side regardless of anything else that is going on in the world. Staying happy anyway. And I hope you're getting some good tips as we go through this. If this is your first time watching, my name is Reverend Alicia Leslie, and you can find me on YouTube under Mundane Mystic. So if you just search Mundane Mystic, Alicia Leslie, I shall pop up with a number of all kinds of videos. And also, if you click subscribe when you're on there, you'll be sure never to miss any of the fun and interesting videos that I do. How do I know they're fun and interesting? Because I work hard to make them that way. Alrighty, well, we're going to start, as we usually do, with the National Day Calendar. This was another day that had a lot of them, so I had to pick carefully. The first one, it really fits our theme today, which is faith versus fear. And it is Rosa Parks Day, National Rosa Parks Day. Now, if you're younger, you may not know who Rosa Parks was. But she was a woman of great courage. She was one of the people who were a part of the original NAACP. And back in the day, the people of color would have to ride in the back of the bus. They were not allowed to ride a seat in the front of the bus. And if you were a person of color and you were seated in the back of the bus and the bus got full, you were expected to give up your seat. And one day, when the bus was crowded and 4 people were told to give up their seats, one of them was Rosa Parks, and she refused. And she got arrested. The other 3 people all gave up their seats, but Rosa Parks did not. And she was arrested, and they actually, the different activists in the area, including the NAACP, did they did a protest. What did they call that when you, boycott. They boycotted the bus line. Do you know how long the buses were boycotted for? 381 days, more than a year. And lots of people rode those buses, lots of people of color, until they refused. Now, that wasn't easy. We've talked before about change happens in the world, but it's usually through effort, and the reason it doesn't happen is because very often we are too lazy or self-centered to do the work. It is inconvenient and uncomfortable, and we may even be afraid. I think Rosa Parks was probably pretty much afraid when she got arrested, thrown in jail, just because her color of her skin, other people, because of it, considered her less than. Nobody should ever be considered less than. So if you don't know about Rosa Parks, you want to know more about her, Google. Look her up and you'll find it. Now it's another day that's National Package Protection Day. And it's sad to say that in this day we now have what have come to be known as porch pirates. And you have to look out for your packages. And porch pirates are especially busy over the holidays. And they've been, really getting away with a lot of stuff. And in the end, it costs us money. I just want to tilt this a little bit. There we go. I like that better. I feel taller. Okay, so what we are all doing is we are striving to pay attention. Hang on 1 minute. I'm just going to release that. There we go. Well, I thought I deleted it. Well, I'm sure it is a telemarketer. I wish they didn't have my phone number because everyone else is trained. I'm working on training them not to call me during my videos. Anyway, so we want to look out for our neighbors, for their packages. A lot of people have those ring things now, so if they leave the package on your porch and a porch pirate comes and gets them, at least you got a good video of what happened. Now, it just so happens that right before I did the video, I mean like the minute before I saw that there was a message and I looked at it, and it was a woman saying that she saw a woman driving. This is in Moodus, Connecticut, Moodus, East Haddam, East Hampton. If you're from this area, there was a blue car that the woman said it looked like it was probably a blue Malibu, which I wouldn't know from a blue Toyota, from a blue whatever. It was a blue car, and the woman was crawling down the road in the car, going into mailboxes and looking for stuff. That is so pathetic. And it's not like that's all we have to worry about. They also complained that some of the Amazon delivery people have been just tossing the packages out of the cars. They're just boom, or trucks. They just throw them and they land, near the mailbox, whatever. So I guess we have to be hyper vigilant. Don't forget, when those packages get lost, they have to be replaced. Amazon will replace them, but somebody winds up paying the price for that. So please protect those packages, protect your packages, your neighbor's packages. If you get a chance, you see someone acting weird, take a picture so you'll have it in case you need it. And then we have the problem with the, I forgot what state it was in, but in a kind of a very, very rural area, a man owned many acres of land, and one day he was out on his land and he discovered a whole bunch of Amazon packages dumped there. There were over 400 packages, so 400 people weren't getting their packages. They're working now to get them to the people they should be going to. Package protection. Don't let anybody steal your holiday stuff. And it is also bifocals at the monitor liberation. It's basically saying take care of your eyes, especially if you are on the computer any length of time, because it really does tire the eyes. I've realized as I've gotten older how important it is to flip my little lamp around so it's like right over my shoulder when I'm reading, because it does give your eyes, you can really feel them like relaxing when they can see better. That was quite surprising to me. I also have some, which I'm not wearing right at this minute because I forgot to go get them, and I wouldn't put them on in front of you because they look kind of silly, but they're blue blocking glasses that well, if your vision's good, you just put them on. I put them over my glasses. They fit okay, but they look silly. but they help to rest and protect your eyes. So you might want to think about that too. All right, well, we're past that, and now we're going to talk about something really important for our day, and it is faith versus fear. Now, I know we all, say, well, oh, yes, I believe in faith. Faith is the way. I have faith. And it's true until you don't. And in our world, with all the stuff that's going on, you go like, golly, I mean, with those smash and grabs, you can't even get packages to get home. People are just stealing stuff, right out of the stores. And let's put that aside. But it is extremely important to be fearless. We've been talking about that a while lately. And it would happen that today on December 1st, the daily word is, can you see it? Fearless. I got the hiccups. That's what I need. But if you're not familiar with the daily word, it's a little devotional. And it has a thought for every day. You buy it. It's a 2-month thing. Oh, I'm so sorry. Anybody want to scare me and see if they can scare the hiccups away? Okay, anyway. Daily word is how I found unity. I was actually having a reading at she was a psychometrist. And before she did the reading, she went into prayer. And while she was praying, I picked up the magazine and I said, oh my gosh, somebody thinks just the way I do. And when it was over, I asked her if I could take, let's see, it's not in here. Well, they do have a little tear off to order the magazine, and they also have little postcards inside. I asked if I could just take that part. And she said, oh, that's outdated. Just take the whole thing. And I took it, and I treasured it, and that was very important to me. So why did I think they think like I do? Let's take a look at this Fearless article. It says, within God, I stand fearless. In the past, I may have believed fear would keep me safe and alert to danger. I understand now that the fear siphons my energy and causes me to shrink from the fullness of life. My safety is in my awareness. Well, we all do want to be aware. Unlike fear, awareness keeps me present and responsive. I pay attention to fearful feelings and tune into the message my distress is sending me. Any fear I feel may inform my awareness. You get a thought, a feeling, and you say, well, what's that about? Okay? But it does not control my actions. Well, the fear doesn't control the actions. We control our actions, and we choose not to take negative action. It says, I remember there's no place I can be where God is not. No situation I ever face alone. God isn't just with me. God is within me. I am fearless, knowing all strength, support, wisdom, and love are mine every moment of every day. And then it has a scripture from 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For God did not give us a spirit of cowardice, but rather a spirit of power and love and self-discipline. And just correcting that scripture quote, that is the second letter of Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7. So we've been talking about fear and how you handle it and what you do with it. And we've also talked about happiness. You know our little happiness quiz we did the other day? Well, I was wondering, for each one of us, what fear is blocking our our happiness? What are we afraid of? And I picked out a few I wanted to share with you. The first is I have plenty of good relationships. Now, do we? Do we have relationships we want, that we're comfortable in, that we feel secure and safe in? Or are we afraid? Are we afraid to be alone? Are we afraid that if we get out of this relationship, there'll be consequences or anything like that? We really have to look at it and face our fears. Another one says, so sorry, I feel I'm always learning and growing. Are you? If you're not, why not? Do you think maybe you're too old to be learning and growing? Do you think maybe if you went back to college or even to get a GED that people would look down at you because of your age? What might be keeping... Are you afraid you're not smart enough? We have to look at these things if we want to be happy. Okay. I am happily married or in a happy romantic relationship. Again, it's like the other relationship. Are we in it because it's fulfilling and that it is safe and secure and a partnership, that we're working together in the same direction? We don't have to be doing the same thing, but do we share core values? If not, what can be done to bring that out? Are you afraid to talk to your partner or your mate? Are you afraid that you'll be rejected? Sometimes we just hang in and hang in and hang in and settle for less because we're afraid to ask for more. Don't be afraid to ask for more. It says, I apologize when I should and offer forgiveness when needed. How many times have we done something and we had, did you do that? Nope, I didn't do that. Some people will fight so hard to prove they're right that they will just burn themselves out when actually they're not right. It's so much easier to say, my bad, I made a mistake. Maybe they're afraid they're going to get yelled at. I've been yelled at plenty, but I'm still alive. It says words can hurt, but generally they can't kill. Okay, the other one is, I love to let go and have fun. Do you love to let go and have fun? Do you let go and have fun? Are you maybe afraid people will think you're silly or foolish? Oh, I so thank God that's not my problem. I'm not afraid to be foolish. Anytime, anywhere. We remember my music teacher that said I had more nerve than brains, It happens. But think about those. We'll do some more questions as we go through Advent. But what are you afraid of? And is there any actual validity to that? I read a wonderful and very quick book. It is called Who Moved My Cheese? And it's about things not going your way or something that you love being taken away, not reaching a goal, finding your goal unreachable. But it's a very good book. It's like this thick. Maybe it's a 2-hour read. Big print. You'd really like it. But the most important sentence in the book says, what would I do if I were not afraid? Think of the happiness questions we just did. What would you do if you were not afraid? We're told to feel the fear and do it anyway. I agree with that to a great degree. But I believe some people take a lot of risks. I believe in taking educated or guided risk. Excuse me. There is a woman. She turned 100 years old this year. Her name is Eden Ryl, R-Y-L. Eden did a video. I will post the link to it as soon as I'm done. The video is called Pack Your Own Chute. She tells the story about her decision to skydive. Now, that's one of the fears that I don't even want to think about it. It's not anything I'm being called to. Hey, I do public speaking, and that's one of the number one fears for all people. I had to overcome that. I still have to overcome it sometimes if I feel like, I'm not doing a very good job or something. But Eden decided, and she takes us through the whole process. The video was done in 1972. So she wasn't exactly a spring chicken, even though now she's 100. But she did a lot of things on confidence and motivation. And I do very much encourage you to watch the video when I post it after I'm done doing this video. But I want to read a quote from her. Suppose that you were willing to stretch yourself, willing to try harder, determined to do more than you can, do more. Then you can expect greater frustration than the next person, more humiliation than the next person, more setbacks than the next person. But as a result of this kind of courage, you can also expect greater success than the next person. You can experience the exhilaration of reaching heights most people only dream of. In other words, you can surpass yourself. I think those are beautiful words. And, I think that also we have to know when it talked about surpassing your others and yourself and like that, this doesn't mean you've got to be a rock star, a movie star, a huge executive with a huge paycheck. It means that you are successful by striving for what you want. It's no good to be success driven if the success is driven by something in the lower consciousness of human thought, human emotion, human desires, and ego. What is your spirit telling you want to do? How many, you know what, I don't know about you, but I like to stand up for underdog. What about when you're the underdog? Do you stand up for yourself? Or do you go in a corner and cower until you can take a few breaths and just go out and keep doing what you're doing? Hang on a minute, I'm afraid I might be missing something. That was what could I do if I wasn't afraid. And so I encourage you to look at your fears, and if that fear is bothering you, it doesn't mean you don't have faith. Actually, Eric Butterworth says when we think we don't have faith, we have all the faith we've ever had and all the faith we ever need. We're just putting our faith in the wrong place. We're putting our faith in fear. We're putting our faith in the fear that we will not succeed, that we will fail, that we will be hurt, that we will get hurt. So you can be a person of faith and still have moments of fear. It's not that you're not going to have the fear. It's that you have to feel the fear and do it anyway. And I add to that within reason. Again, and not jumping out of any parachute. but what one of the things that Eden Ryl was really getting at was the fact that we want to acknowledge and overcome our unrealistic fears. If we make a mistake, it is unrealistic to think that's going to kill us. You know, chances are you may have your ego wounded, but you'll heal and you'll be stronger. You know, one of the things I can't stand is when I watch, I like to watch reality competition shows. I know, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I love to watch them, even though I don't necessarily do well with them because I tend to go with my heart. But the one thing that bothers me is when I watch, and this is usually like talent or cooking competitions, and the people have to, sometimes they even give up their job just to be in the competition, and they'll say, I have to win this. I have to win this or else. What? You're going to get voted off the team? You're going to go back to not having a job? Don't worry, there's another job out there. What if you don't win this? It doesn't make sense. So don't ever think that. I have to have this or else. I have to have this relationship or else. I have to have this bank balance or else. But or else. You move on. You move forward. You pick up the pieces. And off you go. What's the worst that can happen? Now, if the worst that can happen is something you are not willing to accept and it is realistic. Now, to me, jumping out of an airplane and having something go wrong is a realistic fear. Now, in the video, which I hope you watch, she talks about the importance of packing your own chute because you know how to do it so that it does open when you jump out of that plane, so that you know it has to go this way. Nobody else mess with it. Nobody else's error. Nothing's going to get tangled. You packed your chute, and in that is your confidence. And I'm still not jumping out of any plane. I'm just saying that. Not bungee jumping either. But there are other things I do. Well, with that, I just wanted to add to today a few things that I found in this great little book. I can't even tell you how many years I've had this book. It's called Christmas Joys, and it's got hundreds of, it says 432 things to do. Well, come on up. It's about time. I'm almost done. I don't know. She didn't come out earlier, but here we have Miss Tish coming out to do the video. Okay, here's a good one. Be considerate of your in-laws' special Christmas traditions. I remember I was very young when I got married, and my husband at the time, their family traditions were very different than mine, and I was very nervous, and I look back and I'm really embarrassed, but I was 18, honor their traditions. You don't have to, believe it. Well, you may find one day you're doing it and enjoying it. I love this one. Let a child decorate a small Christmas tree just the way he likes it for his bedroom. Tristan has a tree like that. Haven't been there, in a couple of years, so I don't know if he will be decorating one this year or not. I gave him the tree and all the little bulbs. We'll see if he has it. Another one, which I just made a note here because of what we were talking about today. Don't leave packages in plain view when you park your car. Store them in the trunk. I do know someone who was out Christmas shopping. They had their stuff in the car. They went into Kmart to pick up a couple of other things. And when they came out, someone had broken into their car and stolen all their Christmas presents. That stinks. Here is a this one has never been more important than it is today. Make a friend of an enemy, perceived enemy, this Christmas. So someone you have issues with, you don't have to love them to pieces, adopt them, or marry them. Just find something you have in common, something you can agree on, and break down one more of the walls of separation that we must eliminate if we are truly to be the oneness we are here to be. Well, you have a great day, and I hope I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.